Gather round. It's time for your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group. Listen closely as your coaches discuss the culture, the economy, and the political scene, and how it affects your home and your real estate investments. Real Estate Chalk Talk is where you learn the science of buying and selling real estate and the art of living in your home. Your education begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey there, welcome to the show. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group, hittnergroup.com, Hittner Group.com, 612-627-8000. You got Keith and Kelvin, KKK. Mike is in the studio with us. We're going to talk a little politics in the second and third segments.
It's a great intro, Keith.
What?
KKK, and here's Mike Hilborn.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
That's pretty
great
good.
Intro.
All right, so here we go. Let's get a wrap around, get our heads wrapped around the numbers here for 2024. News report came out this week on Inman News. Said 2024 will be the worst year in real estate since 1994.
By what measurement?
Volume. Units move through. Right now,
Units move through or volume move through?
units move through.
Units?
Right now we are at
The volume of units.
the volume of units. 50% of all the inventory nationally now has been on the market for more than 60 days.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Now, our market is better than that. I can tell.
I think we're slowing down. Man.
We're really slowing down. I can see it. I
Yep.
can just see it in the showings. Brought a couple homes on the market this week. Keith tells me they're overpriced, but he always says that no matter what it is on the market. He always says it's overpriced. So
It doesn't matter what the product is.
it doesn't even matter what it is.
There needs to be a perceived value.
or if he's even seen it.
Yeah, that's right.
I saw it. I was looking for houses in Woodbury and came across a
Listing out
four-car
there.
garage with the 1950s Rambler or whatever.
Super duper clean house. So I gotta say that is. You saw it.
Yep, very
It's-
clean house.
It's very
I'm
clean
sure
house.
it's a fine home.
New roof, new
Seems a little
mechanicals,
stiff.
new kitchen appliances, new furnace, new AC,
Fenced yard is great.
great fenced yard, and then a 4-car garage with a car lift in it that is clean, cabinets up the rear end, heated, music system, super duper. Go out there and do your small engine repair, Keith. Fix your lawnmower, fix your cars, fix your motorcycle, fix your snowblower, fix your everything, storage.
This is classic realtor though. Sound system in there. It's a radio with a speaker.
Right.
Classic realtor right there. It's got a whole sound system.
Yeah,
It's really
Yeah.
Speakers on the wall, both of them.
Full AV system.
Yeah, nice. Really
that's
nice.
classic.
Okay, on the market right now. So we did go over on Sunday. On Sunday, we had 8,100 homes on the market on Sunday. So yesterday, Thursday, we had 7,855 were left. So that we had a few of them that moved off. Typical.
Okay.
Properties come on, properties go off. 812 homes sold last week. That's down from last year. We had 1,085 homes on the market for the same week, down 3%. No, that's not right. That was the first of the year. 844 a year ago, down 3.8%. Not bad.
What is it year to date? Down or up or
year to date? Okay,
flat?
so listen to this. So listings. This will surprise you, Kelvin. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, hang on.
I'm engaged.
Hang on. Listings. Our listings are off 3,300. 3,381 listings are down. Fewer homes available for sale this year.
Okay.
Down 3,300. But listen to this. Homes sold are up 327. Fewer homes available, more homes sold. We sold 25,770 homes this year. Last year, same time through the end of August, 25,453. So that's interesting to me. So less homes, but move more through this year than last year.
So
Year to date.
we're getting closer to the end of the year. And
Year
we
to
had,
date.
What was our predictions at the beginning of the year? I wasn't Junior down, or
Was
I down?
He's always a negative
I was
Nelly.
flat. You were up, and I think you were down a little bit.
Yeah.
It seems like Junior's right, though, right?
What are you
You
talking
said
about?
well,
We've sold. We've sold
3,300.
327 more homes so far this year than last year.
Oh, so flat. Pretty flat, huh?
No, we're up
job,
327. That's not flat.
What percentage do you
For
think
those
that is?
for that 327 families,
Yeah.
Calvin, that's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
All
But
right.
as a percentage, it's less than 1.
32 days on the market. The homes that went pending this week averaged 32.6 days on the market.
Interesting.
So that's the homes that sold.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the ones that are sitting there, and I think now we're like 45 days.
Really?
Yeah, pretty typical now to be looking at houses. But
we usually have a great fall market, right?
yeah,
So are we in that great fall market?
It's fall.
Yeah.
It's fall, and we have some homes that
Well, it's fall, but it's 82 degrees today.
I know.
Right. So I feel
it's still fall. On the calendar, it's fall. We got homes moving through the market. Pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm.
I still think we're going to have. Here's the thing: we're rolling on. We're in a political season, so that that national news has, I think, more impact on people's psyche than you think it does.
Really?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you've got people trying to assassinate one of the major political parties' nominee, that gives pause to people.
I love that the FBI picked up 6 cell phones from the second attempt out of the guy's bag, but they can't decrypt them yet.
No, I know.
Weeks later, and
Right.
Trump was out. Do you hear him? He's like, remember when the FBI used to be able to prevent things, and now they can't even open a cell phone?
Yeah. Well, or fly.
Shot.
And Secret Service can't fly a drone. They got to call the 888 number, the number. That's what was going on for the first assassination attempt. Why they didn't have drones flying? They couldn't fly it. They couldn't figure it out, so they had to call the helpline.
Didn't they have some flunkies running the first deal there, though?
It was still a Secret Service agent. They're hardly flunkies.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was
It looked like
he was a rookie agent, but he's a Secret Service agent. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You
There's
don't
a
get
level-
the badge.
Yeah, there's a level you'd think.
Yeah, you got to pass the fitness test.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, he couldn't figure out how to run the
There's-
drone, so
there's
he's
absolutely no fitness test when you looked at the people that were trying to protect Trump on some of the
Like mental fitness and
mental
acumen
fitness.
and
Okay.
et cetera.
I
Now,
saw
like
some pretty large.
physical
people.
fitness.
yeah.
How many push-ups can you do? All right, go ahead. Protect the president.
Go ahead.
Got to be able to run around the block.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyhow,
Anyways,
sorry.
Giant.
Sorry.
the point is that the market was going well until the second assassination attempt. All of a sudden, just like that, showings drop.
So you're saying that the second assassination attempt has had an impact on the real estate market in Minnesota?
I believe it has.
Okay.
I believe it. I believe it has because people.
That's a headline. You should
It
call
is.
that into the Star Tribune.
Hey, I think that when people see that kind of turmoil going on, their natural tendency is just to kind of go into a wait mode to see what's going to happen. It may only last a few days, but it's enough to impact that weekend's showing activity and stuff because they're like, holy crap, what's going on in the country here? We got to just kind of, I don't know if I want to make a 30-year commitment on my money, not knowing what's going to happen next month.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the country. I mean, and we've been pushed with this inflation for the last 2 years now. Interest rates spiking, coming back down. Feds moved the needle on their Fed funds rate a little bit, more than people expect. Does it even impact interest rates? Not really, because things are already baked in. So the reality is people hear, oh, rates are down. And you have a bunch of people in the real estate community and loan mortgage community on social media saying how rates are down when the actuality is that they're not. They were right where they were. I think they dipped for like a day maybe, but not even that much.
They did. Yeah.
And then went back up. So I think people are looking forward to the election being over. There's going to be another Fed meeting just after the election, right? I think is the next one. But that'll be a time here locally that things will be extremely slow. Right now is our fall market.
We're
It
in
is
the
our,
fall market.
It is our second push. It's
Yep.
the end of September, beginning of October. We have another 30 days. We're already discussing with some people, putting your house on market this year, waiting till the spring, waiting till the election. So that's already in conversation at this point.
Why would people wait now? It's September.
Because it's October, let's say. I mean,
Almost.
it's essentially October. So you have a good 45 days to, I'd say end of November where this normal kind of fall activity is happening. and then you get into your winter slump, and it's like that every year. So do you have to move? Sure, let's list your house and we'll get it sold.
Yeah.
It's not going to not happen for
Right.
you. But if you're testing the water, if you're moving because you kind of want to, you don't have a ton of motivation.
If you can choose.
If you can pick and choose, you don't have a ton of motivation to do it, then a lot of people will say, when is the best time to do it? And, I'll be honest with you and tell you the best time to do it is in April, or March, or depending on how the winter kind of shakes out at the end of the season. If we have an early spring, then we put houses on the market in March and beginning of April. If it's a late spring, sometimes that can be middle of May.
Especially in that
it just
Minneapolis.
depends.
That Minneapolis market is so spring-driven still. It's a spring market.
Yeah.
So if I had somebody who's thinking of moving and not, like you said, just could pick and choose, I'd wait until spring.
Right.
I
But if
really
you have
would.
to move and you're moving out of state or whatever it is, there's all kinds of reasons why people have to move. It's not a bad time to do so.
No.
Give us a call, 612-627-8000. That number again is 612-627-8000, and we'll be right back.
Hey, thanks for sticking around. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group. HittnerGroup.com, 612-627-8000. That's the number you see on all the signs around, 612-627-8000. Well, we were talking last segment about the future, what's going to happen. Nobody knows. Everybody's kind of nervous about it. We know one thing for sure. If Mike Hilborn is elected as state representative, things will be better in Minnesota.
I like that.
Huh?
That'd
Why
be
don't you,
great.
before we get into that conversation, tell us a little bit about what's going on with your business and kind of what's your season is driving, what's driving your business this
Yeah.
time of the year.
Well, great. Thanks for having me, guys, again. So, things are slowing down. So, you guys are talking about kind of the different things that people are thinking. So, here's some stories or stories that I have to tell. So, we subcontract for a really big company, and they're a landscaper. And we had a conversation a couple weeks ago, asking what we are going to be able to do, how we can help. Can we be a subcontractor? And we said, sure. It's like, well, how are you guys doing? It's like, we have not planted a tree this year. We are not doing hardscapes. We used to be 4 months out. We're 2 weeks out. We're just trying to keep our guys busy enough to get to the snow season. So
Money's tight.
That's that's bad. Okay, and then on top of that, and
that was the opposite. That was people were deciding to stay in their homes, making giant improvements, spending money.
Right.
Sure.
So, and then when you think about last winter, we didn't have any snow. So, there's a lot of per push contracts out there, right? For snow contractors, where you get paid when you push the snow. There were 3 push snow events last year.
Right.
So they had that, and then they come into their summer that's supposed to, okay, we'll bring it back. Ooh,
That's what we call sucking buttermilk.
really, really scary. I have a good friend of mine that owns one of those advertising programs where they put in, it'd be like, it's not, but it'd be like Valpak or Shopwise or something like that. And
Direct mail.
Direct mail, exactly. Direct mail. And he said, all of my clients, all of them, Mike, where is it? Where are the calls? The calls have just dropped down. And he even said that, his mailing that he did recently didn't make any money on it. There's just nothing happening. Our business, it was kind of weird. We had kind of an uptick the last 3 or 4 weeks for the deck side. That's good.
Just give people a broad overview of your business.
Yeah. So we power wash and stain wood decks, fences, gazebos, porches. We power wash trucks, FedEx, Coca-Cola, companies like that, 2-minute a truck. And then we also wash parking garages for U of M, United Health, 3M, all these different companies, and then every condo and apartment you can see. But that has, there has been some contraction on that too, where it's like, we're going to...
Do we need to do it
We
this
don't
year?
need to do it. And part of it is we didn't have any snow, right? So you don't have any snow,
you're
you're
salt.
not pulling any
Filthy,
salt
yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. So there's that too. But there is a malaise on this whole thing. So, and I'm kind of with you. It's like, okay, once the election's done, are we going left or are we going right? And if it goes one way,
We're in
I'm
trouble.
not optimistic. Oh man, it's spooky. So we've got our guys and that we're working, but I'm not. It used to be. I always describe it. It used to be really hard to find employees. Then it became impossible right around COVID, and now it's like no problem. And nobody's quitting.
Right.
Your turnover is like zero.
Right.
'Cause nobody's leaving to go anywhere else. So that's kind of what's going on out there.
I thought of you the other day because I was talking to someone who does power washing, and so of course my ears perk up. And his niche, everybody's got a niche. We were talking about niche, actually, is what it was. His niche is power washing gas stations.
Sure. Yeah.
Who would ever thought of that?
Station.
Gas stations. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Power washes gas stations.
Yeah. The islands. Keep the islands clean and the oil stains up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overnight work. You're doing it in the middle of the night when nobody's using the gas
Senior has
station.
a roof that needs attention in northeast Minneapolis.
I do have one.
You should definitely have us do that. I bought a cabin. Kelvin helped me buy a cabin, and the roof on this thing, the whole back of the house is roof, like all the way to the ground. It's kind of a goofy design, all the way, and it was the most black, streaked, and stained roof you've ever seen in your life, and it was really annoying. And then I sent one of my guys up there to wash it. Looked brand new.
Yeah.
And it's like, now I like it.
Yeah.
It's the coolest.
It's so amazing. It's like, I really hated it. Like, we got to tear that down. We got to change this. And it's like now, it's like, I like it. And then I think the irony is pretty cool. It's like, that's how I started my company, is cleaning roofs. And then here we are. I got a cabin.
Got a cabin, you're cleaning
the roof.
Cleaning the roof.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about your political endeavors now. First of all, you're running for state legislature for what district?
House of Representatives 65B. So that's downtown St. Paul.
Okay.
Includes the Capitol.
All right.
And then a chunk of West St. Paul.
And why? Give me the why.
Why did I run?
Yeah.
Really, the real reason I ran is because I hate unopposed. I hate it. So it's like I saw that she was running unopposed. It's like, no way. And nobody else wanted to run. So I just kept calling. Hey, I've had a business in St. Paul the whole time. My business is in 65B, so that's kind of interesting.
Do you live in that district?
Yeah, I live there, and you got to live in your district.
Okay.
So I live there, and then oddly, my business is in there.
Okay.
And I just call. It's like, I've had a business there for 29 in St. Paul the whole time, 29 years in St. Paul the whole time. 3 different locations, and 4, I guess. Just listen to hear me out. And if you don't like what I am, great. Then just say no. But
who do you call?
Try.
Who do you call?
Well, I was calling the Minnesota GOP, and that's not who you call because they don't even get back to you. So you got to kind of call your BPOU, which I can't even tell you what that stands for. It's like the local something something. And it's very convoluted. Yeah. But anyway, they finally
It tells you
me
the story, though, right there,
Right.
why Minnesota is so left. There's no strong Republican presence.
In
machinery.
my opinion, the Minnesota Republican organization is a disaster.
Yeah, you never hear anything good about that, about
Yeah.
the Republicans in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Nothing.
Not from any of them. They all say the same thing. Every sentence starts with, the Democrats are really good at this,
We
and
are
then
not.
whatever the subject is, right? And I have friends that have volunteered for this and that, and they just get so
Frustrated.
yep,
With it.
and they're like, okay, forget it.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was a little boy, younger than Keith, my mother was very involved with the state GOP and was in every deal, was just Minnesota national or Minnesota chairwoman, and we always had meetings at our house and all that stuff. And Al Quie was the governor, and the Republicans controlled the Senate and the House, and it was a conservative state, until Hubert Humphrey came into play, and then it just started drifting left, and the organization fell apart. I don't know, it's like it fell apart.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
The kind of what you hear a little bit is the people that run on the Democrat side are people that are in NGOs, non-government organizations, or they're in volunteer things, right? So they got nothing but time on their hands, right? Because they can take all the time you want and run for this. Where Republicans are like business people or whatever. I don't have time.
They're working.
No, I got a business to run.
Yeah.
And I need to do this at the same time. It's different.
And that's why you wind up with the old white hair guys, because they're at that point, someone else is actually doing the day-to-day on their business, and now they have time.
Right.
But that's, like they're always in their 60s and 70s because that's when they got time to do it.
Yeah,
You know.
that's right. I think that's right.
Yeah. So Keith Areno's going to run next year, he said, because he's independently wealthy and he's got the time now. So kids are a little bit older and stuff like that. So he's going to run for something. I'm going to get him on the board. You got to get saddled up for something.
Here we go.
Yeah. Give back, Keith. Give
you know,
back to your community.
News to me.
Yeah. So what are your policies? I mean, what is it that you're bringing to the table that your opponent is not?
Well, okay, my big three are affordability, and then law and order, and then education. Okay.
So what
pretty
can you,
standard.
as legislature? Yeah, I hear that from everybody, and then nothing ever happens. Or are you just like every other politician making these promises?
Well, I'm not a politician.
Okay.
I'm a businessman, so I
Okay.
don't even know. So I don't. I did this forum, and my committee chairman watched the forum. He's like, Mike, you got to say something positive. It's like, yeah, okay, that's a good idea. I probably should do that, right? Because all I'm seeing
Can't think of
is
anything.
what's wrong.
Can't think of anything.
And we got to fix what's wrong.
Right, you're there to fix problems.
Yeah. So that was a fascinating thing to do, though. But there you go. And I was even thinking about it right now. I sound so whiny,
Yeah.
It's like, no, we could turn this into we have such an educated group of people here. When I worked at UPS a long time ago, whenever I went to a conference and there was people from all over the rest of the United States, the sharpest people, and me and whoever I was with, by far, heads above everybody else in the room. I don't know how New Jersey actually delivers packages because I've met some of their guys, right? We could be so great, but we spend money. We had
Like
a
drunken
$20 billion surplus, I think it was. They increased the budget by 40% and had to borrow $10 billion because they spent the 20 and then had to borrow another $10 billion. Who does that? You know, I just don't get it. And taxes, my rent is going from $17,000 to $22,000 next July. It's going up that much, $17,000 to $22,000. And my landlord's greatest landlord ever showed me this. He goes, Mike, here are my tax statements. Taxes are up 66% in St. Paul.
So you're going to figure out how to bring those down.
We just got to.
Next segment, we'll figure that out
everything.
when we get back with Real Estate Talk. 612-627-8000. We'll be right back.
Hey, thanks for staying with us. Welcome back. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group, hittnergroup.com, HITTNER group.com, 612-627-8000. We're speaking with Mike Hilborn, who's running for a state representative, first time, with no expectations other than to get some of the issues out, and so people start talking about them because nobody seems to know what's going on. What is how did you learn, or have you learned, the whole process of government? I mean, the Minnesota government, I mean, first of all, they're the largest employer in the state, which is, to me, is mind-boggling. Why would the government be the largest employer in the state? But just that whole bureaucracy of running all of that, you know, the bringing in of the money, the deciding of where it's going to go, and, you know, whose favors are you returning, and all that stuff. How do you get your head around that as a candidate? Is there places that you go and say, look, if you get elected, this is what you got to do?
Yeah, they sent a letter, emailed, saying, okay, if you win, you know, and they went to everybody. Here on this day, we're going to go through this, and you have to be here for this, and there's orientation, and they talk about all that stuff. So I'd say that's how it is. I was telling you, I was in a forum, and my I think we did that off air. My opponent didn't show up for the forum. And then there was another forum, and they canceled that one because she wasn't going to show up for that one either. And I was really disappointed because part of even running all of this stuff is I want to experience all these different things.
You want to have the conversation.
Yeah, conversation and see what it's like and how, learn it, because the only way you're probably going to learn is from the inside. Anyway, she wasn't there, but there was another district there, a Republican and Democrat, and they asked the question, and you have a minute or a minute and a half, depending on the question, to respond. And the question was, if there was a surplus, what would you do with the money? And I'm like, rainy day fund, give it back. You know, that took 5 seconds, not even that. And the Republican, he was sitting next to me on the other district, and he's basically the same answer. And then it went to the Democrat, and she goes, oh my gosh. She goes, oh, there's so many things I would love to do. And she's just started listing off all these places that they're just going to spend money, and this is after they've already raised the budget by 40%. It's like, what? There is just no concept of consequences. I mean, there's just none.
Seems like there should be a criteria before running for political office that you actually run something, so you understand the economics of a business. Like,
Right.
you don't just keep spending more money because RTD had a great year. You rainy day fund, and then you hold on. You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
just like,
Well, it's just,
shocking.
it comes back to saying, when is enough enough?
right.
You know, nationally we spend about $24,000 per student per year on education. $24,000. When you can send your kid to a pretty darn nice private school for less than that.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, what's the reason for all of that spend? You know, it's the bureaucracy, and with the wasting of resources.
Yeah, I
Really,
think
what
the
it is.
biggest difference, though, or a big difference between the two parties is that the Democrat Party, you know, we talked about the government being the largest employer in the state of Minnesota, and so they look to growth. And how do you grow government is to spend more money and
Right.
to tax more and to gain more revenue for your business. And so the way that Republicans or conservatives will look at government is that they want to shrink government. It's not a business. It's for the people, et cetera. So that's just a fundamental difference between the two. So you hear the different answers, right? Like you hear we're going to spend all that money, and then we're going to need to raise more money in order to spend more money, right?
Yeah. So back to that forum thing, to your point, is that back to the forum, they asked, what is the role of government? I said, well, protect the citizens is number one, so that's police and fire. I'll probably give you education. That's in there. Making sure that we can get from point A to point B. And I'm sure there's a few other things in there. But that to me is probably where it should stop. Where that's not where it stops, right? It just goes way beyond that. And then a question toward the end, it was put on by the public financed cable news. And one of the questions was something like, will you support additional funding for cable news, for
Public
local
access.
cable news? I said, no. I don't know why the government would be involved in cable news anyway.
Right.
No, just no. The answer is no. No, I would not fund that. There are so many things. My Republican counterpart, again, and this is why I'll never get elected, I guess, but he's like, well, it's going to be hard, but we got to kind of figure out what we need to cut. I don't think it would be that hard.
I don't think it'd be that hard either.
We got what are we? We're 5 things. That's it, and then everything else goes away.
Right. And the thing of it is that you've got the entrenched bureaucracy, and you talk about funding. The bureaucrats, the head of the departments, their prestige and their influence is based on the size of their budget. So if you've got a department that has a very small budget, they don't have much influence. They don't have much voice. You got someone with a big budget, with a lot of people, they have a lot of influence. So their natural inclination then is to grow their budget. And they have the influence, so their budgets continue to grow. And as long as the state is able to tax people enough to generate that revenue, they're never going to give it back. They're just never going to give it back.
Not with the current leadership.
No.
Right? And we're now a net exporter of citizens now. More people are moving out of Minnesota than moving in. The people with money are moving out.
Right.
You guys, don't you see where this goes? I mean, we've seen this play before. And again, we could make this so amazing if we could just taxes hurt everybody, absolutely everybody. We got to minimize them. Get just everything where we can. We got to minimize it. That'll make everybody wealthier.
And we're collecting enough to manage it, since we had a surplus, but then they increased the budget. So don't increase the budget and use the surplus and reduce taxes, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you see that, many times you see that with people's personal incomes. It works the same way. They get a raise, and do they put that money in the savings or invest it? No, they go out and buy a boat. They they spend it and then borrow more to spend that. And so the fix starts in the house, in the personal house, in your household. That's where you fix things.
Yep.
And then that mindset then will transcend into the political realm. But right now that's not the mindset of most people. I mean, you look at our credit card debt, Calvin. What is it? $3 trillion. $3 trillion. People are borrowing for groceries. And putting
with almost about half past due.
And people are so stressed out now, trying to make it work. Hey, do you guys know who Tad Jude is?
Jude?
Tad Jude.
No.
Okay, he's running for U.S. Congress. He's in the western suburbs.
Oh, yeah.
Loves your show.
Oh, really?
He loves it. I was at the state fair, volunteering at the GOP booth, and he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, you're Mike Hilborn," and he's like, "Yeah, I hear you on Chalk Talk all the time."
Hi, Tad.
That's
Nice.
great.
Yeah.
So then what influenced you as a new representative coming in? Are there committees that you would want to be on that
I think they assign you committees right away.
So it's not like you can say, I want to be on this one. You're a pipsqueak in there. So they say, here, you go over to that one that nobody wants to be on.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
So that's before, though, or that's after, before the election and where you're at right now. What kind of support do you get from, Minnesota GOP? Are you
Good question.
the only one that's doing it? Are you putting these flyers together? Like, what kind of support are you going to get as somebody running against somebody that was running unopposed?
Yep.
And you say, hey, I'll run against her, or him or her, or whatever it is.
Yeah. You get very little help, like less than you can even imagine, right? And you keep calling and say, hey, can somebody give me there should be like a pamphlet.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D.
This is what you do. Yeah. Do this.
Yeah. Get a website right away. Then, do this. So there's not a lot of that. And I met with 2 sitting House members, and they were super great, but they're just kind of, just throwing things out, and you're supposed to write it down and try to figure out what they're doing. So you kind of figure out as you go. And I've got 2 really good friends. We've been friends since college. One just retired, so he's got plenty of time. Another guy's a CPA, so he's my treasurer, and then my committee chairman. And my committee chairman really loves setting up things. So I spent an hour with the St. Paul chief of police. I'm going on a ride tomorrow night. Never done that before, so that's part of the interesting fun of this. He just had Kelvin was there last Thursday. We had a thing for
kind of a meet and greet.
Meet and greet. And we sent out invitations to all the people that donated, but then we sent out 9,000 postcards to the people that would likely show up to something like that. And we had 4 young people show up, so it was neat. We had 4 people that I didn't know, and they were really interested in asking questions. But the postcard you make that. You find a designer that can put something together, and I've had good feedback on my website, and I made yard signs. I got 6 yard signs sitting in yards right now. So and it's crazy.
Let's
right?
go.
There's my name. And actually, I went out to a friend and saw him in YZ. And I pull up to his house. He had a Hilborn right on in his front yard.
Love it. Love it. You should put one up with every Christmas lighting job.
Yeah,
you do.
exactly.
There you go.
Mike, give us the website they could find you for both your business and political endeavors here.
So business is rtdservices.com. That's simple. And then it's hillbornforminnesota.com.
Thanks for coming in, Mike. As always, great to
Love
have
it,
you.
man. Thank you.
We'll be right back with the mortgage segment of Real Estate Chalk Talk, 612-627-8000. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the program. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group, hittnergroup.com, 612-627-8000. That's the number to call for real estate. But if you want the best mortgage rates in town, the best rates, the lowest cost, the most variety of programs, call Kelvin. Call Kelvin, 651-231-2500.
A lot of down payment programs.
Yeah.
When you talk about a lot of programs, man, there's a lot of down payment assistance programs in the state of Minnesota. It's unreal.
We have a house on the market right now that I did the down payment program searching. $110,000 available for down payment assistance
for that property where it's located.
Yep. $110,000.
That would get it into the reasonable list price range too, if you
Probably. Probably.
Knocked her down about 110.
That's seniors' approach now. We're going to
price it high and then do the down payment assistance, get it down to market value, and we're good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, it's interesting. I had one that they qualify for down payment assistance. We found another program that worked, so it allowed them to up their purchase price they're looking at because we can use that money to
exactly what
drive
I was
down.
saying.
Yeah, raises prices.
Just
like if we get the $25,000 for home buyers from the new president of the United States,
oh God,
it's just going to
Everything's
raise
up
home prices.
$25,000.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we know how that works.
And what's so funny is they're like, oh my gosh, this is going to help dramatically. Like there's 54 flipping programs in
out
Minnesota
there
right now. And now you think you're some hero because you said, oh, we'll give you, I don't know, what do you think, Mike, 25,000? Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Like, come on.
The 55th program.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Come on.
Yeah.
You guys are,
yeah.
Yeah, the older I get, the more frustrated you get with the kind of ignorance of the market sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about what's been happening this last week in the mortgage market. Well, Keith, touch real quick. I always have on my sheet here listing inventory. Just touch on that real quick.
Okay, so we have a listing. I don't know the addresses off the.
Yeah.
We have a listing in Woodbury, 4-car garage with a car lift, clean as a whistle, lots of cabinetry, beautiful property, new roof, new furnace, new AC, just clean as can be. For $400,000. Got another one in Northeast Minneapolis, $300,000. This one's got a little work to be done, but nothing significant. It's got some missing tiles in the bathroom. It's an estate, and it has great hardwood floors under the carpet. I pulled the carpet up. They look like they've never seen the light of day. Just beautiful. That one has nice appliances in the kitchen. And here's the trick: 3-car garage in Northeast Minneapolis. When do you ever see that?
You don't.
So and it's heated. So a 3-car heated garage, Northeast Minneapolis.
Attached, or is it separate
detached,
somewhere?
They're all
Okay.
detached off the alley. Tyler Street, Northeast Minneapolis, $300,000. Super duper deal.
Are you
And
finding investors are pursuing that one?
all investors so far have been looking
Really?
at that one. And the master's bedroom could be upstairs. The owner's suite can be upstairs, and there's a bathroom in the upstairs in the half story. Nice property, just a really nice property. Another one that came on the market in Denmark Trail in Eagan, $550,000. Big house, 5 bedrooms, big flex room off the back. I thought we had it sold to a relocation buyer coming in from Chicago. Didn't work out, so it's back on the market now, and we had a lot of showing activity on that one this week. So we're hoping to get another offer on that property.
Good. That's great. Junior, what do you got? What's floating out there?
Yeah, nice big one in Eagan in the Woodland area, just north of Westcott, near the high school. Great spot. I used to live over there personally myself. It's a great one coming on the market in the 600s there. And then in Savage, low 300s.
Wow,
Super
that's
great price. One across the street was a dump with water in the basement, sold for $300. We're at $332.
Wow.
That one's coming on. Real good
Water
place.
in the basement?
No, not on mine. The one
Good.
across the street was a dump. That one sold for $300. Had water in the basement. Ours is very nice and clean for $332, and it's larger. Great big garage. No lift, but
No lift. That draws some
competitively
people in.
priced
Yeah.
at $332.
What you got in
Good one.
Bloomington?
Bloomington, we got a great place in Bloomington that's $850. Big place near the river bottoms, 169 Old Shakopee, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, 3-car garage, pool, cul-de-sac near Dred Scott baseball fields there, so you know where it's at. All redone. Bathrooms are nice, kitchen's nice, vaulted ceilings, 2 main level offices, 4-season porch, big deck, fenced-in backyard. Yeah, it's a great place.
How much is that one?
$850.
It was funny. Yesterday, I'm sitting there, get a call from a realtor, and they say, "Hey, we're in this property in Bloomington. Wonder if you could run some numbers for my clients." So, what's the purchase price? $850. Okay, and I'm like,
Sounds
Interesting.
familiar.
I said, listing agent Keith Jr. Yeah. Do you know him? I said, yeah, I've run across him. And so we start talking, ran numbers for him. So hopefully we can get.
Yeah, it'd be
that'd
great
be
to
great.
do
That'd
a
be
transaction like that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when you have that happen. So
Yeah, make a call today for me, would you? See if you
I
can
will. I
move
promise.
that along.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt me either. So we're a little. We had a great month this past month. Closed $12.5 million just out of our Eagan office, our best year in a couple of years. So that was good. But this coming October slows down again.
Mhm.
And we're just like, what do we like? We're really good at this,
Mhm.
right? So how does it?
What
seem like-
happened?
Yeah. So we're like, you see, like, is it
Yeah.
me? Do I
Air went
smell?
out of the balloon.
Everybody's checking their phones to make sure they still work.
Mhm.
It just slowed up a little bit, so that's okay. We saw Freddie Fannie come out with a new conforming loan limit this week, so $802,650 for conforming loan limits. Isn't that crazy?
$800,000 mortgage.
Yeah, 802.
802 mortgage is
650.
conforming.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So yeah, what does that mean? Tell me.
So what
that
it means is that before you have jumbo, for the big houses. Well, you don't go to jumbo until your loan is over $802,000 now. So it means you can go 3% down on $802,000.
means $1 million house can be conforming
Almost,
with 20%
right?
down.
What does
Absolutely.
conforming mean?
Conforming means it's sold into Freddie Fannie. versus sold to the jumbo market, which is just
privately.
More private investors. So we,
So rates tend to be better on conforming loans?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
So jumbo's a little tougher. I've got a couple right now I'm working on. Tough. It's just a tough market, A lot of requirements, a lot of reserve requirements, all that kind of stuff. So,
but that
I'm
has
just shocked
changed because I remember a couple of years ago you were bragging about the jumbo rates and how good you guys were with jumbo. Now has something changed now?
It's just I think the appetite is less in that marketplace. We go based on what the investors give us. So the appetites change over time. So this last year it was $766,000. So that's a pretty good $36,000 increase.
Yeah.
800,000 conforming. It's
that's hard to believe.
Shocking to me.
Yeah.
But so that's what's going on. We're getting a lot of refinance inquiries because the Fed lowered the Fed
discount
funds rate, right? And I tried to explain that. I put a post out as well, just trying to nicely say, you guys don't get it, right? So Fed funds rate is the interest rate at which the banks lend to, or the federal government lends to banks, their overnight rate, and it's not the mortgage rate.
So you may see your car loan rates go down a little bit.
So it talks a lot about financing costs for credit cards, car loans, installment, all came down a little bit. Like you said, you had great language earlier, Junior, where you said it was baked into the mortgage market. Exactly right. So what's funny is there's a great article, mortgage rates highest in more than 2 weeks. So the day before the Fed went down, everybody's final movement, that was the lowest rate we've had in a couple of years, and now they're back up, right? So we actually went up again because we anticipate
because we know where we're at.
Yeah, now we know where we're at. Now we adjust up a little bit. Rates are still a lot better. I mean, you're low sixes without paying anything, and you're probably 5.99. There's something psychological. I did one. Yeah, can I get a 5 in front of that? I'm like, sure. 5.99. Your payment changed $13, but mentally you thought that
it was a big
better.
deal.
Yeah, so we do it, and it's good. So mortgage rates have actually ticked up a little bit since the Fed announcement. They have not come down. However, me, along with everyone else in the industry, sends out rates are lower.
Marketing emails, yeah.
I'm like, this is marketing.
And we were
folks.
talking just a couple years ago, something with a 2 in front of it. Just something about having
God,
a
if we
2.
just get 2,
Just
it'd
a
be so great.
299 was be.
I think
I
we're
know.
about a percentage point away from where it will have an impact on the market.
Yep, I do too. And we are looking at refinances, and we had a lot of refinances going, and we have some still going. But the average loan, $300,000 loan, when you pick up a point, 1%. So let's say you go from 7.25 down to 6.25, it saves you $200 a month. That's it. And now you spend, there's closing costs involved. I mean, we can all say there's not. There are.
You're right.
So if you figure, 2.5%, 3% in costs, that's $9,000. So you got about 3 years of payback before it actually
makes sense.
makes
And by that
sense.
time, you're going to do it again.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I'm telling a lot of people, we're talking just because we did the same thing, market it out, market, and I'm like, I'm looking at this, and me and Jared were talking, my business partner, like, God, it just doesn't make
Unless
sense
you're
yet.
doing a cash off and paying off credit cards.
That's what a lot of it is. And cash out, the rates are higher. So now you're not at 6.25, but you're maybe at 6.5, but we're getting rid of a lot of
30%.
high 20% credit card debt.
Crazy.
So 30 to 50,000 of credit card debt is not uncommon.
Right.
So we're getting rid of a lot of that, and we're just restructuring debt, and it makes some sense. So if you're interested in buying, selling, refinancing, cash out, give me a call, 651-231-2500. Love to have a conversation, and we'll tell you the truth.
Right.
Thanks,
Sit
Kelvin.
down and see if it all makes sense.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Real Estate Chalk Talk. Log on to our website, hittnergroup.com, HITTNER group.com, or give us a call on the old telephone, 612-627-8000.